So D, I wanted to ask you a question. Why you always so serious? Like you always have like a stern demeanor about yourself. I mean, I know it comes with the territory, you being, single and, by yourself. I just wanted to know like what's the reaction you get from like, other people that don't know you like when they first meet you.
That's a good question because the reaction I get is more negative than positive, right? Like, I don't know, for some reason, it bothers people to see other people minding their business, if that makes sense. So I'm more of a person that minds my business everywhere. Like, I have like tunnel vision and I worry about what's in front of me. I'm not worried about what left or right. I don't care about none of that. I don't care what they doing. It's none of my business. I just know I'm focused. I'm there for a goal. Whether it's going to the gym, I'm there to work out. I'm not there to look around. None of that. Whether I'm at a function, so I'm looking at the main point of the function, and that's it. Like glance, I may glance, take a look at the room, but I'm really minding my business because I like to give out what I like to receive in return, which is I wouldn't want somebody staring at me, so I don't stare at nobody, you know. But like you said, like before, like you back to your question where it was like, how's the reactions? More negative than positive, man. Like I said, for some reason, it feels like it bothers people that I mind my business. I don't know. Everywhere I go, whether it's like to watch my kid at their sports training, or it's something else where I'm going for something for myself, such as the gym, whatever it is, it seems like they prefer people who are talkative, people who are in their business, or people who they know their business. I guess some people have told me like, I can't figure you out, smile more. No, you smile more,
Yeah.
so I don't know. That's where I've gotten with that. How about you? I mean, I know you were serious, but I feel like you're more welcoming than I am.
Now it's more like you said, I might have that demeanor too, like with people that I don't know, people that don't know me. And then I think that has a lot to do with, with us being from New York, like New York is like one of the most packed cities, all over the world. So I was like, I feel we gotta have that hard, like, character on the outside. Cause you never know who's for you or who's good for you, or if they want like if they have bad intentions like towards you. So that's how I am, like, I'm very closed off until like I feel the vibe of the person. Then yeah, I might be a little friendly once they seem like a cool person, then yeah, for sure. But a lot of times I'm like you too. Like I'll be serious with the serious face, and it's times I'll be with my girl, we be out, and then she's like, "Oh, why you always looking or grilling people?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just trying to get a feel, like you know what I'm saying, like because you always got to be on edge because you never know. You don't want to get the wrong intention. You be too nice to someone and then they use it against you. Or they try to take advantage of you. So I mean, in my point of view, that's why I'll be like that.
Now I feel like New York has a lot to do with it. Us both being from New York, it's like over here, ain't nobody greeting no one. Ain't no one telling nobody, hey, good morning. None of that, unless you know each other, right? There's none of that. Like we just mind our business, we keep it going, and it bothers us when people don't mind their business. It's like, yo,
Mhm.
get out my business. So when we go elsewhere, we take that with us because that's what we know. And other places don't accept that, because they like to be in their neighbor's business, whatever it is. Like, no, like since I've moved out of where I used to live and everywhere I go, people try to be those friendly neighbors. That's cool and all. Like we could be cordial, but I ain't gonna be one of those all up in your business, and I definitely don't want you up in mine. So it's like I'm gonna let you know I'm cool, but at the same time I'm gonna let you know to keep your distance. Like, like just know this is where we stand. Like I'm gonna greet you, but that's about it. Like it ain't gonna be no friendly neighborish, whatever thing you guys got going on here. It's gonna be none of that. Like I just want to go to work, come back home, leave me alone. I'll leave you alone, and we get along perfect. Other than that, man, it can be a bad thing too because, like you mentioned before, as being a single person, it might not be such a welcoming face, right? Might not be such a welcoming expression. But listen, man, I'm not going out there to like have people approach me. None of that. It doesn't bother me. I don't know. This is just how I am. I like to mind my business. I like people to mind theirs. I like to go get in, get out to whatever I'm gonna do, whether it's the gym, grocery shopping, a kids event. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? We could talk. So once you talk to me, you see I'm a good person. I can make conversation and all that. Like I'll make it feel welcome at that point. But I just can't walk with like having a smile on my face, like, hey, hello everyone. No, none of that. Yeah, it's just not me. You gotta stay true to yourself, man. This is me.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
to know what you're saying is like I always say, you can never be too gullible because you don't know like if that person's good for you or not, you know. And like you said, they could like perfect example. Like I'm sure all the viewers could relate to this. Like wherever you live or your neighbors, or you could be a new tenant that just moved in, and the neighbors could be cool in the beginning, and then like what if over the time or over the years you see like they're really not good people. They just trying to get whatever info from you just to gossip like about you to like the other neighbors that been there longer than you, and then it's like they make that a whole like thing, and then that's what bothers them. Like, oh, why is this person so serious? Why they don't want to talk to us? Why why are we having like a get together? And if I invite them, they never want to come. Like because we don't have to. It's like you got to feel comfortable. You got to feel the environment first before you be like, oh yeah, let me go hang out with them. Or they seem like good people. But then again, what at the end of the day, they're not good people. They're just trying to use whatever info they get from you to use it against you in the future. And it could be the littlest thing. So I feel, the way you are it might be, bad for some people, but then it might be good for some people. Some people might like, the way you are.
Yeah,
So it's not, I
because
feel it's not wrong with that. Like I said, again, it comes with the territory. No matter where you live, not just New York. I know me and D mentioned that because that's where we from, but it could be anywhere where you from in the world, like.
listen, man, I if I'm about to step out and I hear that my neighbor is about to step out as well, I'm closing my door again. I'm waiting for them to go first. Like, go ahead. I'm dead ass, man. I'm dead ass. Like I know a lot of people the same way. Like, I ain't trying to socialize
Cause it
here.
be
So
it be on that like, oh, where you going? Or like,
yeah, no,
like
no, no, not
we
trying to do none of that.
or if you
No.
go in a certain spot, they be like, oh, let me go there too. I never been there. Like, bro, I ain't never invite you. You just inviting yourself. Like, no, it don't work that way. Like, we gotta be cool. We have to vibe each other out first before I could be like, all right, I'm gonna hang out with you, or I'm gonna see what you're about.
Well,
And
you
that be
do
a
know.
problem with a lot of people.
Well, you do know in New York how you doing. It's just a form of greeting. So elsewhere,
All gonna be something else. They gonna be fighting words. Like, what you mean? How I'm doing? Like, what's up? What's good?
you good? Like you good?
Oh yeah, you good. If you say you good, it's like you good, and then they be like, "What you mean if I'm good?" Like, yeah, I'm good. You good?
But you
And
know
that
the
can
thing.
lead to like a whole nother. That can lead to something even worse than you didn't even know about.
But that's the thing
I
you
think that's
say.
everywhere. That's everywhere where different places where you live. They all got their different terminologies and different slangs of like how they greet each other.
But that's the thing. In New York, you'll be like, hey, how you doing? And you just keep it pushing, right? That's it. Now, wherever else you're living, hey, how you doing? Now you gotta indulge in a whole full conversation. Like, man, I ain't trying to do that.
Word.
I could be running late to where I'm going. Like, you see, so,
Yeah,
so like if I hear you coming out your door, I'm gonna just let you rock. I'm gonna close mine. I'm gonna give you your privacy. Do your thing, man. Go out in peace. Then I'll follow. You feel me? And I hope
that's
if I
true.
was to go out first and you hear me going out first, do the same for me, brother. Like, you feel me? Like, stay in. Let me come out. Or if the person was just like who minds their business and be like, hey, what's up? And that's it. That's perfect. I'll open my door anytime, go in and go out because I know this person's not gonna be fully indulging in like conversation where you've been, how was your weekend, your week, and then no, 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 no. That's too much. Like, and people, like I said, get bothered off of a person who minds their business, but I think none of it. I think that person is, just about their business. Like, okay, I respect that. This person's not here to talk. This person's just going in and out, doing what they gotta do. They're not rude because they'll say what's up, and that's it. I won't think bad about them. But there's a lot of people who really don't like that, who think like it's probably on a negative note, right? Like, oh, they don't really indulge in conversation. They don't really come sit down next to us. No, just like our privacy. Some people don't like to be around too many people, but it's not a bad thing. It's just, hey man, this is my preference. Like give y'all space, y'all do your thing, I'll do my thing. Why I gotta bother? Like it ain't about no beef or anything. It's just I like to sit alone, right? You feel a person's energy out. But it does bother people. For me, it doesn't bother people. For me, it doesn't bother me because I know like that's the way I am. Like I respect it. This person, what do you think about them? I think no about them. I think they cool because they say what's up, and then they just carry on. They're not trying to stand here and talk. None of that. They to themselves. But that really bothers people. Bro. I've noticed that really bothers people everywhere you go, and especially if you have kids. That's like the hardest to do, right? Because now, damn, I do have to interact with a certain amount of people, right? Because I don't want to be that one parent. But at the same time, it's like, all right, I'll interact enough and then I'll keep my distance. Again, you can tell it still bothers them because they want to be all in a group. And I get it. Listen, it's cool. But at the end of the day, not everyone can adapt to that atmosphere. You just got to respect people, let people be, and you be the way you are. That's it. Live and let live, as they say.
I think that always be the like when it comes to people trying to like interact with you. Like if you do have kids, that'll be their form of like, okay, now I can talk to this person because we both have kids, or they'll be like, oh, how old is your kid? Oh, my kid is like the same age or similar in age. Like, oh, we should set a play day. We should do this, and then it's like in reality, like, okay, it sounds cool, but then you like, I don't know what's the real intentions behind all this. Like, you really want to be cool with me or my friend, or you like trying to like just get info about me or my life or how my kids live, or what is my way of parenting, So it's just I feel, and in that case, it's always like a logic to people have certain intentions behind them trying to like get your attention or for you to like be cool with them. So you just got to be careful. I'm sure everybody, all our viewers that watch us, like, I'm sure they go through that in their life, where like they might not want to talk to a certain person, but in reality, they have no choice because of the setting they're in. But it don't mean you have to be best friends with them. Like it's not wrong being cordial with someone, just a hi and bye when you're in the same setting and that's it. But like what you was pointing out to, yeah, they might be upset. They might want more than that. They might want to like get to know you on another level. Sometimes it's not always about that. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So a lot of people might take you very serious, but it's people that might get to you where like you actually give them a chance to like get to know you, like if that's what you want.
But don't get me wrong, small talk is fine. Like I'll do it. I'll indulge in small talk. But it's not something I'm gonna be specifically looking for. But I'll keep it amicable with everyone and just make some small talk and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like you said, this you don't know the real meaning behind of them wanting to set a play day and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people, it's very controversial what we're saying right now. A lot of people be like, oh, you can't live your life like that. Yes, we can. I mean, listen, everybody lives the way that makes them happy. And if you going out there and your shield is down, then hey, power to you, man. That, whatever makes you happy, live your life that way. But for other people, just like such as ourselves, we're always on the defensive because maybe that the environment that we grew up in and doesn't I know people's gonna say like, oh, but you don't always have to be that way. But hey, this is what makes us comfortable. This is what has made us overcome adversity, and this is what has helped us come a long way. So why change something that has worked this whole time? It's not like we're being antisocial by any chance. Like if you approach us, you're gonna get a great conversation out of it. You're gonna be like, wow, looks are deceiving, but
Yeah, true.
we're not gonna be displaying that. You understand the way that we grew up and the way that we were brought up and carried ourselves throughout the years is just the way that we conduct ourselves now as adults, and it's worked before and it continues to work now. Of course, more on a humble way, and yet we're not so defensive as we once were because when we grew up in public housing, we were more defensive back then. Now it's just like I'm minding my business. It's not on the we want problems with anyone. We'll keep it amicable with everyone, but at the same time, it's like just know that there's boundaries here. I don't know your true intentions to want to hang out. I don't know your true intentions to your questions. So you know what? I'm gonna give you what I want you to know. More than that, I gotta court you first, and then if at the end of the day I end up giving you some more information, then that's all me then. Because I thought I thought I could trust you, whatever it is. But for me to just from the get start giving you personal information, no. It takes more than that. I don't know your intentions, I don't know who you are. People hide behind the mask the same way that people gonna judge us for being on a serious note, right? Or it could be an a-hole or whatever it is. Same thing people gonna be with you is why is so happy? Why so welcoming and stuff like that. Next thing you know, they switch up. It's like, okay, but then that serious person was serious at the beginning, now they cool. So they switched up for the better. But this person, the happy-go-lucky person, they switched for the worse. So it's like, live and let live. That's all I say. I carry myself on a very serious note, not intentionally, but that's because I thought that this will benefit people also. It's like, this guy just minds his business. He's not looking at me. He comes in, he may greet me, or if he doesn't know me, he's not even looking my way. None of that. I thought this will make you feel at peace. I didn't know that this is going to bother you, but either way, even if it does bother you, That's on you. I can't intervene in something that is an emotional reaction of yours. That's something you need to fix from within.
Yeah,
It's not something that I need to fix on my end because I can't say sorry. The only thing I can say is sorry you feel that way because it's not something that I'm intentionally doing. At the end of the
yeah,
day, it's like 50 said. He said, I'm not interested in telling a person that I'm a nice guy. If you have made your mind about me, whatever it is that you think I'm a bad person, whatever it is, then hey, then believe, then just run with that. I know I'm misquoting it, but it was around that ball range, the way he was saying.
I think it's I mean, we both can relate because we both have sons, and yours is older. Like my son and your son is similar age, so I know the way we view it, it might be different. But then I feel when it comes to my daughters, I'm even more like protective, like with what we talking about, because they still little, and then the fact, because they girls. But I'm sure it's similar like that with you too, even though like your boys are bigger. I'm sure you the same way, like you're very protective when it comes to that, like who you inviting in your circle and who you, feel like that is a good person that you can let into, your life or know anything about you. But with me, it's like that. Like I'm very, very overprotective when it comes to my daughters. Like we could be somewhere out in the store or in the mall, and then, sometimes when the little like older ladies they'll see a kid and like, oh, how cute, or in Spanish like, oh, qué lindo, like they'll try to. One time a lady touched my daughter, I'm like, and I was tripping, like, my girl looking at me like, oh shit, like you about to spaz out, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you could say what you want to say about the kid, she's cute, beautiful, whatever, but I'm like, you don't have to touch my kid. You get me? Like I don't know you. Like what makes you so comfortable that you could just touch my kid just because they're a little kid and because you older? I'm not sure if that happened to you when your kids was little, your boys. Because I'm sure everybody watching that probably happened to them one day where like they're like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. Probably like, why does this random person just trying to touch my kid, like saying hi or something like that, So it's just, just got to be careful when it comes to stuff like that.
Nah, yeah, I never got to a situation like that where someone touched my kid, but I probably would react this. I most likely will react the same way. You understand? Because you just don't touch a person's kid or any personal belongings. Like what made you feel welcome to do that. And that's also what a friendly vibe can do. It'll make people feel comfortable enough to cross certain boundaries. And then, it takes work for you to make them know that, hey, I'm not to be messed with. You understand? So I just rather just keep it serious from the get, where it's like they won't dare to do certain things because they think already not so highly of you, than to be over here with a happy go lucky face and all that, and people try and cross these boundaries and take advantage. Nah, I'm not with that. Like I said, you got to go with what works for you. And I'm all about change. I'm very optimistic about life and everything. But I just mind my business. I can't help if that bothers you. I just can't. Like that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I really don't care how you feel. I'm not doing anything. What are you gonna say about me? He's always serious. He minds his business. Like people most likely gonna be like, okay, isn't that what we all supposed to do? Mind our business. But you asked me, oh well, did you see that? No, I didn't see that. Why? Because they weren't in my view. I'm looking straight ahead.
Yeah,
I'm walking straight ahead. I'm not looking to the side, whatever it is. If you're walking next to me, so I might just glance just to make sure that I'm safe, my surroundings are safe. But besides that, I'm not observant of what the next person next to me is doing or whatever it is. It's none of my business. I'm gonna just keep it pushing. Well, that that's a thing that can be good or bad. But I would like to just say, like, listen, do whatever works for you. People gotta live their life the way that they want to live it. Live and let live. That's it. People are gonna criticize. This is a very controversial topic. At the end of the day, you gotta know there's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. If it's been working for you, then why change it up now? Just like when you go to a restaurant, let's say you're really hungry. Now, you're all for trying new foods, but you're really hungry. You want something that's gonna hit the spot. Then you're most likely gonna want to go with the dish that you always gone with, right? The one that
yeah, the
yeah, the
usual.
one that's fulfilling to you. But doesn't mean that you're not willing to try other things. It's just like, hey, I want a dish that's really gonna do it for me right now because I'm really hungry. Maybe another day when you're not that hungry, you be like, all right, let me try something else. But it doesn't mean that you're not optimistic, that you're a boring person. You just want to, I would like to go with what works. Plain and simple. And at the end of the day, there's always gonna be people criticizing. You just gotta not mind that. Don't worry about the next person's opinion. It's all about what you know. What no one's gonna dictate what you are or how you are. That's their perspective on you, and it really doesn't matter. It's the way that you know yourself. If that's not true, then it's not true. Why defend yourself? Let them believe what they want to believe. If they have their mind set up, don't try and change it. For what? If that's the way that they think of you are, it's gonna take too much effort. It's gonna take too much energy from you to try and convince someone else, oh hey, I'm a nice person. No, and for what at the end of the day? Who cares? You think I'm not a nice person, then it's your loss. Because guess what? Now the next person that actually interacts with me and makes small talk with me, they're gonna be like, okay, this is a nice person. And then you're gonna realize that you missed out for judging people.
That's why I say you can never be too judgmental until you actually like spoke to the person, know them on another level, and then you could. I mean, even then, you can't judge someone because everyone is their own person. So we can't please everybody, and I think that's what's the big issue with that. Like what we talking about, like a lot of people want to try to like know you without knowing you, and then that's the big issue for them. Like, oh damn, why, I want to know more about this person, but I can't because they very standoffish or they're very close. So, no to what you were saying. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you being who you are. And everyone who's watching, there's nothing wrong with being the person you are. Whoever you see in the mirror when you wake up, that's nothing wrong with that person. You don't have to change for anybody. You're going to have people that like you, you're going to have people that don't like you, but that's normal. That's life. Like, we live and we learn. But it doesn't justify you as a person.
I feel like the people who are mainly like that serious and mind their business is always the nicest people. Wherever you think if a person is stuck up or anything like that, next thing you know, you start speaking to them, it's like, wow, this is a nice person. Like I would have never thought. But then again, why would you have never thought? Because you were looking to be judgmental. You were judging. Rather than judging, just try and treat everyone the same and be optimistic about who or how they are. And another thing is people go through a lot of stuff in life. People don't really have the energy or the reason to smile so much. Some people need help to realize how great life is because people go through so much that they lose hope in life and they just, functioning because they need to get by. But that's why you got to be kind to everyone. You don't know what people are going through. If a person's quiet, let them be. You can make conversation with them, but don't go being judgmental. For what? Don't judge anyone. We're all the same. We're all here for the same reason to live life. And some may be more outgoing than others, but at the same time, that serious person may just be more outgoing than you. They just don't show it from the get. They're just more reserved. That's all. Like I said, from my personal experience, some of the people that I've spoken to, which is male and female, like they turn out to be great people, co-workers. As soon as I get into a new job and I see a person who's serious, next thing you know, that's a great co-worker. Or a female, like I just made small talk with a female that looked like she had that serious face all the time, that don't bother me or don't talk to me face. Next thing you know, she's like a sweetheart. So I've learned early on, don't judge a book by its cover.